Good afternoon and welcome to the Mppa Hour. This is now the Ministry of Political and Public Affairs Good Governance Program with the canton on SBC radio and television. And the radio na FM 100. And it's na Salon, the north, the south, the east, the west. Please tune in to SLBC, Bokutin the Cam. We still look at issues of national concern, public interest. And we use this opportunity on behalf of my minister, Madam Nanette Thomas, and the Deputy Mr. Ahmed Femi Mansouri, for reach out to the people of the United States of America, where they said they battle with very serious hurricane, what they call Harvey. In fact, one other new one don't come, we don't know in names every day. They threaten the cities, the states of Texas and Louisiana. And we in Salon, apart from the landslide, some people they call a mudslide, and the flood, we don't come one day on the 14th of August, and another one day on the 3rd of September. Instead, we do a lot of damage. We're na Ogu Farm, na Godrich, na Colbert, na Eastern. So many of the people and property, the lost of money even lost their life. And so we still look at this. But now God don't bring, or nature don't bring, may I not call God. Nature don't bring what other terrible thing with the moon away. And that's not the issue of the seaweed. That kind of thing, yama with the pack now beach them, beginning from Lumley with beautiful golden pristine Lumley beach. Take go reach that Toke, Lakaole side, fine side of the what we like when they see this thing. So today we there for talk about what's in this thing, what they bring and come, what we could do bottom, how will they affect the livelihood of people and like within the tourist industry, because they say it when they actually declare Salon as one of the best tourist destinations in the world. Within that case for do with the economy and all of that. So and for help me talk about this today, me now still I name TJ called the Megadon, and of course for help me talk about then this seaweed, I get alleged them we come on the National Tourist Board when I NTB, and this now no other person than Madam Osagi. I just want to introduce you. A beautiful lady there, Naina, the Deputy General Manager of the National Tourist Board. You're welcome to the program, ma.
Thank you.
So please tell family your name.
Family, my name is Fatimata Abe Osagi. I'm the Deputy General Manager of the National Tourist Board of Sierra Leone.
Good. And then next to him, another handsome man, that's Paul. Paul, I beg introduce yourself. Let the people meet you.
Family, Mina Paul Elamin, Mina the Acting Assistant Deputy Director, Natural Resources Management Department at the EPA. Right,
the Environmental Protection Agency. Family, if you just join me, this is now the MPP Hour, and we come to live on SBC television and as well as the radio. You keep it part of this program. If you're concerned about the seaweed, you want to ask questions, you want to know anything from Mrs. Osage or from Mr. Paul, you want to know about anything there, please send me text at 030-014-971 or 076-955-191, and then we'll answer your questions. Now we begin. Madam, what's the first time where we see the seaweed? Because I remember when we grew up in a Salon, Lonely Beach, Godrich, because I go meet my guy. You just swim. In fact, we've not been getting no time from January to December. The beach they clean and fine, the sun, so you white in fact. When they crab and they run by the sun, so you see them take go. What's the way we can see this thing? What's how you come out?
Well, thank you for the question, Mr. Producer. I would say from when we go up in a Salon and where I start for working at Tourist Board, the first time I see seaweed or what we experience in 2011. Although people are way older than me and yourself, they say if you don't come one time in the early 70s, but in the mature life, adult life now in 2011, we first see it. And of course, when we see it, we don't know what to make of it. We don't know nothing about her. We just see her come invade, we beach them. And not only just the Lumley Beach, but other side and back now the country. And since that 10 day, we don't experience this thing what we call the seaweed. And as to waiting at this seaweed or outside it come out, we have not been outside it come out. We've not been there answered. As I said, we didn't know what to make out of it. It was something, it was an alien species. We just come and we beach there.
Okay.
But we begin work with other people there, when are environmental people there, primarily like the EPA, when they come in. And I know say there was a first initial study done on the seaweed. And from all waiting we gather in several other studies that we don't follow, we find out say the seaweed na nature, but na as a result of warming of the ocean due to climate change.
Climate change.
And another thing back where the scientists then tell we, or through the people that we can do then research here tell we, then saying as a result of the nutrients where they come out from the land and enter the sea.
Okay, like flooding,
yes,
the erosion, them.
Well, they said the dirty way they go inside the sea.
Okay.
Yes, all are responsible for that. And so these are just few of the reasons that we then tell we as to the cause of the seaweed.
Right, now bring in Paul. Paul, you as somebody being a really big person at the Environmental Protection Agency. So what is the seaweed and really like how Madam Mosagi talk? You know, you add anything there?
Yeah,
so people will understand this thing more and more.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. So the as Madam rightly said, in 2011 we experienced the seaweed. But prior to that, we don't see some other seaweed, because seaweed is in different categories.
Right.
You get the blue one, then get the green one, the brown one, the red one.
So the one with the kind of
the brown one. The scientific name is Sargassum. So when that happened in 2011, then we gave a conduct a preliminary studies. We contact the Frabe College to then do some studies. And the findings, some of the findings of that study were that this seaweed, now the brown seaweed, where they call Sargassum, now be the camp, and the one will be the camp, some part of it, now a native species where we can also see them in our water, and some other species they part of that bunch where they come, we're an alien species, you know, to the West African region.
Right.
So from that studies, they're not able to conclude much of the things them, but the seaweed. Then we get for conduct another studies. Who say we invite one institution from Senegal, Dakar, where they come, then join hand with other researchers and also then conduct another studies. So they also do another findings. But lastly, the final studies what we do now on this seaweed, where we're able to begin take a step forward. Now the one what we do in 2014, 2015. Then now EPA began for hire one professor, Professor Showers. This now lecturer in Institute of Marine Biology and Oceanography, where he just returned from the Philippines, but he been actually in Frabe College for some years. So the research what he do now that research began for unravel so many other things, where we add them to some of the other findings of the previous reports then we're able to determine which way to go and which are actually the cause the seaweed. Okay,
so another question before I return to Madam Musagi. This seaweed, apart from we the see we not look nice, some man say smell, we the work upon them if you pull your shoes, you know, you feel like, you know, you hear all the rise. Apart from that, is it really dangerous? Is it poisonous to people that where they wash, where they bathe, or where they do water sports and things like that?
Well, according to many researchers, them what they don't do, even abroad, they not find out, they not prove yet say the seaweed, this particular one, is hazardous or it's toxic. It can cause any disturbances. For instance, if you don't have grass, you must feel a pinch by body. But for say if you touch them, it go wound the body, or it will make blood come up by body, or some kind of thing. No, they not prove that one yet. Apart from that, but when the seaweed is rotting, we don't come at the land where it is rotting, it pull some offensive smell.
Yes, that's I smelled it.
Yes. But the research also shows say the seaweed where it come, the fresh one they come from Musa it come out until where it is near the ocean, the land. When it is near the land now, Musa it can deposit now the beach where it begin rotting. At that time, it begin pull that offensive smell.
Before that time, nothing.
Before that time, it's fresh, it's okay.
Madam, as Deputy General Manager, wetin don become una experience with the seaweed from the till una first year, and why has it become a source of concern for the National Tourist Board as a body?
Well, wetin me go say, in as much as I agree with wetin the man from EPA say,
Yeah.
of course, the scientists that based on the studies, the several studies that were done, not get no health hazard,
Okay.
but except the offensive smell.
Right.
But from even the same study, we realize say there are a whole lot of benefits when we can make out of the seaweed, beneficial for certain areas there. But I should say we go talk on that as the program progress. But in terms of tourism, no, me can say no matter how we look at it, the seaweed not okay for we. Unsightly.
Yes.
When you go see her, you see her like saying a tortilla.
Yes, so many hear the rice.
You hear the rice. You see, and they then at the beach. And when they at the beach, nobody no one go na beach with dirty.
No.
Nobody no one make use of beach with dirty.
Absolutely.
Nobody no one go swim na beach way not okay environmentally and nothing for be okay.
Right.
Like where my brother from EPA say, even when you lay down on grass, he go scratch you. You go and go na side where you did there, you go scratch you. So whichever way, we know it's not okay for tourism. It's not okay for tourism. And you got to agree with me. Say most of the tourism establishments there, they around the Lumley Beach.
But I just want
and they around the peninsula.
The peninsula.
People let
so
them go.
What are some of the key locations them where this thing not affect? Like them Tasso Island, the beach, this thing reach there?
It reach there. That all the coastal line.
My
there.
God. Then I Lacana,
all
York, Kent,
Peninsula, along the coastal line.
Hey.
Even going up line, it did it.
But you know, enter the river then. Go get Boku River Moa, River Mano, them great scarces. You know, like this, then what are they?
Well, we don't really know if then they did accept possibly.
Oh, na fresh water.
Yes, expect the scientists then can come, or maybe the guy from EPA help with that. But we just know say most of them can just come up from the ocean and come on the seabed, on the beach, the shore of the beach, and it's not just okay for we. A smell after a couple of days we don't come, and it affects cost and businesses along these areas beside the seaweed day, and of course they make the beach unsightly.
Right.
So for we as tourism are a nuisance. And I want for Belize also, it also gets an impact on fisheries.
Oh yes.
It also will get impactable because then they complain.
The artisanal fish.
Yes,
that one they do the deep sea fishing.
Yes.
Then not too far from the shore, not to them, they don't get trolled and them boats and no more. It affect the next thing.
Yes, it's also affecting.
So now I want to bring Paul. Paul, what happen? What make the same that they reverse them? And which are the other socio-economic impact where this seaweed gets? Because Madam don't just begin to talk about the fisherman. I remember saying Salon, when you talk about fish, don't touch real because we not get cow. The cow they say as Salon is small. Yeah. So that fish I will So
the seaweed, this type of experience currently now is shoreline, na a marine species. Marine means a salt water.
Salt water.
So in order to thrive, in order to do well, na fresh water. You go even find out say. We get just the Sierra Leone River estuary. That was
yes.
what we would say pepper.
Yes, the pepper.
That water na both na mix fresh and salt water. Right. So they call them brackish water. So the salt content is not too high. But what they make we know they get much of the impacts in that region now because of the wave, the tide. When the current pattern of the ocean, you understand, it concentrates on one side.
Right.
That goes show you see, if you visit the Lumley Beach currently, you will find out say the pile of the seaweed where they see na Aberdeen, it go different from what you go see na the Atlantic Beach because of the wave and the pattern, the current pattern.
Yes.
The current pattern is high in that region. take to a tourist body area and so you can find out see the extent of the position of the seaweed in high in that region there.
Right.
And how it happen na the same thing. If they go right down to then Shenge area, take to Bont area, it reduce. Unless the Bont area, Bont also, Bont it gets also exposed to high current.
Yes.
Because it located on the current, the high seas. So they also can face a lot of.
So even the Banana Island, they all.
Banana Island, they all affected.
Well, which like what Madam take the fish business, fishing industry. Which other socio-economic?
So what can happen?
Yeah.
You remember we get the trawlers.
The trawlers.
Even the industrial fishes, it affects them.
Right.
Because when you cast a net, this seaweed it float on the surface of the water. When you cast a net, definitely what you get forget now the seaweed get for trap inside the net. And again, when the seaweed it drift in the bunches.
Right.
You understand? So even then fish them when they're not too stronger, they can trap themselves inside the seaweed.
Kill them.
They go kill them. Then you find out that the fisherman them way they at the shoreline where they not can go far. When that seaweed come, it get like them beach scene.
They draw chain. So then they at the shoreline. So impossible. They're not able to cast the net. That's very very impossible. This is serious.
Then also you go watch people way can they do transport when a boat. That one if you
enter the machine, the seaboard, that outboard.
Yes. The boats are able for tribe. So it get plenty disadvantages. But one thing also I want to make clear, when you remember one time one fish boss na Lonely Beach. At this moment, we not experience that kind of thing because of that kind of massive seaweed within that water right now. So you see that kind of thing, and they become most of the time, then fish that can feed near the shoreline. So then it not will happen. So now some of the impact and then the seaweed.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. This the gentleman will come up from the Environmental Protection Agency (EPA), and this is the program where na MPPA hour. Now, good governance program would look at issues of national concern or public interest. Today, now the seaweed, now we look at and the National Tourist Board General, Deputy General Manager. There, so you can be part of this program if you send your text now 0300 14971. If not Africell, if not Airtel, and 076-955-191. You ask a question, make suggestion, we will able to clarify. That I get one text with them come but before we go and I come back to the general manager. Madam Deputy General Manager, looking at the tourism industry, how this seaweed don't particularly affect you now?
Like I say, the seaweed affects you because now tourism attraction areas there, now the seaweed they make your own. Now they're making places.
So how long this period can last with the seaweed day?
Well, not to have the rainy season because it always starts with the start of the rainy season. Like some other parts, like where I'm going to talk to Professor Showers yesterday, in the term, because this is a passion for him,
right?
And he did a lot of studies.
In the College. And the Department of Marine Biology.
Yes, Department of Marine Biology. And they tell me so some other areas within the coastal line. Then they get her as early as this, even the start of May. But for the Lonely Beach and some other parts, normally we can experience around June.
Right.
Now then 10 in the
so you go till the kind October.
It did towards October. But interestingly, 1 year in 2014, the seaweed been there for last till. So in January, it did January. And that's where for we that is very not okay for now it cause for concern for tourism.
Right.
Because luckily for we, the time when the seaweed they can do in the rainy season and the time we call the low season. Now low season for we. You know get a lot of international people and they come in
during the rainy season, definitely.
Of course it affects, but of course it affects domestic because one thing I noticed about Sierra Leone, whether rain or shine, people will always go use the beach.
They want to play football, they want to swim, they want to do parties, birthdays and stuff.
They want to do their program. So it affects the domestic tourism because people that they make use of the beach. You come, you want to exercise in the beach, you meet the seaweed, the smell offensive. It's always coming back on tourism. And then even the guests then where they
Yes,
are
yes,
those areas,
yes.
the smell is very
Within the hotel.
Yes, they complain.
They complain.
Yes, and sometimes they say you can see some can even one with the sense persist they go one move from hotel go to a bed other hotel when all of this they affect.
What the restaurant they want to deal, particularly the seafront restaurant.
They affect because the smell is offensive.
It is.
It's really offensive. So during the time of the seaweed, now time the way not too okay with the operators there along those areas. Yes, because of the smell, it's not harmful, but it is smell.
Right.
And then another thing is which users are finding it difficult to use the bit during the seaweed because the place is very dirty.
That's right.
The seaweed, and when the seaweed they come with all that kind of dirty, everything they make the entire Lumley being doing the race is very unpleasant to look at.
Right.
So it affects you. But the good thing is for the time where you go say the peak period where they even also they get international visitor where they make place of the by the time when they see where the peak season they come in October, the seaweed can don't begin the less.
Okay.
As I say, except in one time.
So how you the less? Now they go by himself.
And they go by himself. How the water they
How
go,
they come,
that's how the water they go.
Hey.
And also it's difficult for deal with it, difficult for clean. Because how they come, how you as the rain they can also they come. That make we say the seaweed invasion. They come like some they come with force.
Right.
Yes, aside the tile of the water, they can also they come with force and can scatter all over the sea. So you cannot use it. You cannot actually use the beach in that kind situation.
Right.
So it's a concern for we. That make us say, notwithstanding some of the good benefits there where we can get out of the seaweed. Because for tourism, honestly, I can say that it's harmful to we.
Yeah, we can talk about some of the benefits, but let me turn back to Paul. Paul, apart from the tourism aspect of the fishing aspect, any other environmental impacts they would see with the get? For instance, you tell me say within part of the factors them now, maybe the garbage where they're feeding into the oceans, they might encourage this thing for cap. It gets anything to do with the soil, the degradation of the soil itself?
No, what's it can happen?
Where the rotting, the chemicals, the way it give out.
Where you see with the rotting, they give out some chemical. That chemical
right.
can get that kind of sense.
That's sensitive. But they affect the soil, contour,
when it is rotting, that period, that moment, and that area we say it is rotting, they get for consume a lot of oxygen, dissolved oxygen at the water. And we know say the fish them inside the water. That oxygen, they rely on.
One of them they lay egg, na them estuary, they shoreline, it affect them. So
they affect them. So
right.
It will find out say the oxygen content therefore less than the area than they. So it will drive the fish there. Because normally what can happen, fish can try for adapt. How do they adapt? Sometimes they aim for manage. Sometimes at the extreme they aim for manage. They go for flee. They go for go somewhere else. So then it can happen, and then you will find out say fisherman can always complain say, "Will they go? Will they get catch? Even when seaweed not they catch. So now then problem then it can cause.
Right. Okay. So we return to Madam Osage very soon. Now we'll look at some of the practical steps where NTB don't they do because they not sit on and full foot say after our natural disaster what we go to low will it cover. They not do more because NTB really very progressive. But a gentleman from the way concerned, he sent text to say the Sagasu or the sea algae where they commonly call seaweed, it's a universal occurrence, not to saloon no more. You do on Boku country the molecule get coastline. See and done, it happen, especially the country that we get kind beach there. You say, but the National Tourist Board don't do a fantastic job. You say, no. He says, so in one share their ideas and the but I know one will beat the gun. But one we turn to Madam Osage, let him tell we witness some of the practical steps where within the National Tourist Board don't they do for see how they go curtail, even if they're not able to get rid of her, but how then they mitigate. Well, we will let that word they mitigate, and thank God the president also let the word resilient. So we didn't make the NTB resilient during this time of hardship, of difficulty, of unpleasantness. How una can do?
Yes, Mr.
So
Cole.
let una become resilient.
Yes,
Like how president say una for me.
yes, we did win a resilient people.
Okay,
Really,
right,
I agree with president on that.
Okay.
Honestly, you self will bear me witness
Right.
because many times we don't call you for like see. This see we not a new thing to win in
Okay,
this country.
right.
And year in year out, we don't they come doing it. We see we they come. We don't give press coverage them. We don't, in fact, they invite press. Now the side the seaweed then they come out
Okay.
and they don't deal with we. Then serve now witness to how far we don't they go. We don't not say the seaweed don't come. And from the studies the way me friend from EPA they talk, and even where I started saying there's been a lot of studies on this for know why.
Right.
It's a natural thing. And my fear is like when me and Professor Showers they talk, from 2011 where the seaweed they come.
Right.
Every year they come. And one day when he tell me, he say, Madam, he say, now the thing is for them alien. He said this seaweed are alien seaweed. Not so the one where we know where I think where they come from the Asian side, where they can eat. He said, although this one good for other things, he said, but this one it look a little bit hard in nature. He say the way this thing they can, one thing for the alien, the way they don't can a place. 1 year, 2 year, they're the first way for adapt and stay.
Okay.
Now, can this see we come?
Like
We not
can
been
we
there.
come?
Oh.
No.
We not been there.
No.
As I say, the global climate change,
Right.
based on some of these causes that we were attributed to climate change, don't bring seaweed come. So it seems like say this seaweed one can make here now like home. It did. And many a times when they say the seaweed go, not so like say it they go back. They said the seaweed they go down at the bed of the water or something.
Right.
Now that's if they try for explain terror. I think it's good that you have some discussion
I definitely will,
so that you
because
will know the
are they
scientific
interested in-
explanation of some of these things. I
So-
will just tell
so
you.
some of the practical steps
The
then,
practical steps that what we don't use
Right.
based on the recommendation. We try for use cleaning as a form of adaptation.
When I use people
Strategy.
when I go on people or
Yes, and that we do.
Na masada I call it
That we do. What we
masada
do-
una the employ
Yes,
masada.
well, we've been there with Masada,
Right.
but so far because of one or two other reasons there,
Good.
we're not able to keep on with we contract with Masada.
So now una give una
Yes,
your own
but now what we have been doing over the years as a adaptation mechanism, a strategy, is to clean the beach. We don't employ, we get people the way they work with we a total of 70. You know, so we get the beach marshals.
Nana beach marshal.
Yes.
They get special uniform, right?
Yes,
I
where
think
they
we don't
go.
see them.
And then we get the beach cleaners as well.
Okay.
So what they do at times, even though they are also looking at the security and everything, but we are all form force for the
Right.
cleaning of the beach regularly. Day in, come rain or shine, we are all we clean the beach. But you know, one time I'm being to to viewers then
Right.
for clean 3.2 kilo stretch of beach, easy. These are just the Lumley Beach. We not even begin to talk about the other peninsular beaches.
Right.
We need a whole lot of resources. Over the years, we don't collaborate with other institutions. EPA is one such institution. We also don't partner with international institutions like the UNDP,
Right. Yeah,
EU.
because I was thinking about that.
EU, even the operators along the Lumley Beach like CCECC, like Guji Investment. We also don't cooperate with Family Kinder and all lots of others. I'm not able to call your own name. We don't try for collaborate with them in support for clean this beach.
What are some of the tools sooner they use
Well,
to implement them?
The
Na shovel
na
or
shovel there, we they use rake, with barrow.
Then they go through where and sometimes
Yes.
they beg them, when they dig hole for burial.
Well, normally when we clean the beach, when we clean out,
Yeah.
at the time when they make the services of the cleaning company there for help we for can collect and they go depositor
Right.
that then dumping ground. But because of the new, based on, as I say, based on studies and the recommendations say the sea will get other benefits like it can be used for animal feeding. We can also use them for fertilizer. We could also use it for charcoal, is it?
Yeah.
for fire energy.
And a biomass.
Yes.
They dry and then compress.
Yes, so compressor and
so we use it for cooking.
Yes, so we
they can look at it
in
more
collaboration
detail.
with Mppa, we they decide say for the preserve for the gathering place here, and we don't identify a place now long the back of Atlantic for we they preserve as we they gather the seaweed, we they clean them up instead of we they go to where like first them we they dump yonder, and then we want to link up with a company, Phoenix Salon. Yes, a company where I think they get their master sabi for do them processing because we really want to make use being the good side of the seaweed out. Yes.
Okay, with the candy.
But as I said before we go, but in that we have been doing the cleaning using tools like wheelbarrow. Then rain for during the rainy season we need raincoat, we need gloves, we need boots then, you understand it, and get 20 people for the clean. But we don't people are normal what we get, even what we combine them with the mishmash for the seaweed, enough now total of 70 the can too.
So low bring Mr. Lamin in. Mr. Lamin, what in the EPA to do for address this seasonal invasion of the seaweed? Because I mean, they say prevention is better than cure. I mean, we now know say every rainy season, beginning from April to May, they get this unwanted visitor. And as a matter of fact, somebody just don't write one text to say, do ask you say waiting the EPA could do for the NTB and other bodies for stop this. Menace.
Thank you.
Go a menace. So,
yeah, sure.
Thank
you very much. So, when the seaweed came in 2014, EPA, the head of the EPA, they gave us instruct. You understand?
Right.
For we make a program and fund that program for me and do a research, and even the people who come up from Dakar, Senegal, EPA began for. Look for collaboration from other institutions, Senegal, when they fund up that project. In 2015, make a tell families, in 2015, when we get UNEP began one big occasion where they call UNIA, United Nations Environmental Assembly. That will be the second assembly. So because of this menace and we boss Madam Hadija Tujalo be so upset with this kind of issue, so we gave a right to the UNEP executive director, that can be the executive director then. So a right and request for technical support for address the seaweed issue. So in 2015, then we gave for invite with the head of the EPA, Madam Hadija Tujalo, for go to a presentation at UNIA. On the seaweed issue. So it do that presentation, then we get collaboration and other partners then come and we engage how to address the seaweed problems. So now, how we begin? Then we say, okay, then get do a kind of a regional action plan, because we don't find out say other countries in the region also affected by the seaweed, like Nigeria, Guinea, Liberia,
even Senegal, because they say they get coastal line, long coastal line.
So in 2015 also, we host one of the first expert group meeting at Fritania. So when EPA be host that meeting, we pull experts in from other countries and how they manage their own seaweed. What's not the impact? So how we go able to get a synergy, a way, a control measure?
So what will be arrive at?
What will be arrive at? We develop a regional action plan.
Right.
One of the recommendations or one of the program in that plan, this adaptation, when this cleaning. Another thing, a value addition. The other thing, when
value addition meaning that we take the seaweed, they turn into something.
They take the seaweed, they transform into something where we're able for use. Then another key thing also in that plan day, now for let we collaborate with other partners them, and that collaboration it will bring one fruitful something. In 2016, we began to get a link with other companies, other people from overseas through Abidjan Convention.
Right.
Mrs. Hadija Tujalo began to express a concern and request the company there. So one company became, they do some fact finding. They may even visit to our office, then get meeting.
Yeah,
so this company,
would not be the fallout of that.
This company, then call them Algas Organics,
right?
Indian Caribbean, St. Lucia.
St. Lucia.
So then they transform the seaweed into organic fertilizer.
Right.
Then they sell them worldwide. So then come do a feasibility studies. Then we end up doing a proposal. So they will do a proposal when a public-private partnership proposal. We for come set up a cottage industry.
We go employ people for even get at the seaweed. We get at they pay you.
Yes. So what can happen now? That last year. So last year now, then we began for a link up with the National Tourist Board for find a place because I didn't get for actually champion. Find a place to say for study seaweed and also how we go identify a local entrepreneur industry where they go help for do this process. We do all of that. Guess what? In 2017, this fellow for Bidon Algas Organics for Bidon now we load about 20-40 feet dried seaweed for transport and St. Lucia. Unfortunately, the seaweed not come. It not come to the level will be the expected.
Right.
Seaweed not come from June, July now begin come patch until this August now we don't begin see some half patch will come. Just yesterday, me and Madam Osaki be talk about this.
Okay.
So this man will for become load 40 containers of this seaweed. You know, say I'm viable, and not go able.
But come all the way from St. Lucia.
Then it comes container one container.
Maybe now 1 or 2 containers no more.
So now it could be put a whole.
So the cost of production definitely.
Viable. So now what do we get for do now? Maybe the deputy general manager will talk on that also. We also collaborate for look what's now we your local industry how we go able for utilize this seaweed in we own form. Because during the expert group meeting, we will get this Mr. Kamara.
And like some kind of a fallback plan.
Yes,
so
yes.
As for that one no work,
yes.
they will look inward. Because since we talk about local content now, they say those who help themselves, then they also better to help themselves first.
So that there is a cause now. We don't talk with we don't get a meeting, a joint meeting, NTB, EPA, and this Phoenix Industries.
Right.
Where now we don't map a way forward. Now the proposal we for develop by next week the proposal for don't develop the general manager begin for get for presented to the office of the president. Then afterwards then we begin the transformation because what we want for actually resolve that which we want for begin practice now for how for transformer to then briquette. That biomass of and
so that instead of charcoal we will get alternative.
Yes, definitely.
Because you don't say with the toll gates the price of charcoal don't go up.
Yeah.
So it will be a wonderful thing for make we will get a dried form of this seaweed.
Yes.
So instead of charcoal, people will begin use.
Yeah.
But let me come back to the deputy general manager. Ma'am, in addition to all of this, I just want to ask any significant drop in the number of international tourist visitors
as a result of the seaweed?
Yes, as a result of the seaweed.
No.
So
the only drop we get, international drop or whatsoever for tourism will be something much more deadly than the seaweed. Seaweed is offensive. It go affect unpleasant for look. The beach need to be clean. People they need for cap. But not forget say. I tell you, say it come during the low season.
Right.
So not
it's
too
a good
much
thing.
Get international impact on we. The most of the impact what we realize, mainly now for beach user, local beach user. We the Sierra Leone or the community expert community where they are around, we go one user where they go. But the major tourism as a like when you get leisure tourism where people that they come from overseas for can normally they not go do during the rainy season, they do and during the dry. And since we need to get seaweed during the dry, so it not actually affect international visitors to Sierra Leone because of the time where the seaweed they come. But then that I say because based on what Professor Shah was telling me, there is possibility say this seaweed they go adapt, go see as a base.
So it will become like part and parcel.
Where even sometimes during the dry season we're gonna even experience that will be catastrophe for.
Okay, but like how Paul they say, when I don't begin even now put modalities in place for a local solution.
Yes, a local solution.
So you just want to throw light on that a little bit.
Yes, that's just like how you say. Like I tell you, when we say begin say, we don't identify the land space around back of Atlantic. Usai we go for the where we gather the seaweed, we go dump them instead of force them where.
Oh, then they spread them for let guy like how they do guess.
Then they go. Well, I don't know the processing. The process. But we waiting then. Where's how we come in for? They get her out, and then we store them like particular place for let this company that has been identified. We get the sabi for do the processing, But then the concern is, as I tell you, so we involved in the day-to-day, the practical day-to-day to cleaning. The cleaning that we use as adaptation strategy for the clean the beach, which we have been doing. In and out, we have been doing it. Although we are facing a whole lot of challenge with tools and equipment. And then we need more personnel. 70 people for clean the stretch of a 3.2 meter and for deal with the magnitude of seaweed. Where you they clean and some more they come. We need machinery for do that, so we not get. So even in we cleaning, the resource, we don't have the proper resources.
So by this program, definitely, if anybody
we don't have the proper.
Interested, well-meaning,
we don't have the,
can come in and help
support.
with
in the past, we don't get support as I say for international partners. Then the EU, the UNDP, EPA, of course, we in the world the champion all of these, and that one also have add to this program. Say we are planning in the EPA and us, the Ministry of Tourism, they come together and want to do a national. We are starting a national cleaning. We don't do national cleaning all the time. But we want to do it and we want to really start doing it again.
Major collaboration, cooperation, and coordination.
National cleaning, not only for the Lumley Beach, because when we talk the center, they be Lumley Beach. The reason we make the center, the Lumley Beach, they within the city. Anybody where they come, now Lumley Beach first they will see. If you get stranger where they gonna see, then they go see what in the bedroom. When it come, the first time we go see now the front or the living room. Now I go see first, not so. Maybe now I make the attention there on Lumley Beach, and that's not so much because of limited resources. Today I did in my office, one my colleague they send message to me, say, hey, what you they do the seaweed for clean. But then the moment the way they send to me, you go there, we man they clean. And so, this year. And so, as I say, we are planning to have a collaboration, national cleaning. We'll combine what we they start na Lumley Beach and we replicate all of the beaches there within the peninsula.
Including Banana Island.
Banana, all over we want to do it. So we need cooperation, we need support. And as I talk about support, I want to use this opportunity again to say, there is a machine we call the seaweed baba. We're easy for take them seaweed there, get there in less than
no time
than the human labor what we they use. Human labor almost more time.
But we get a kind of machine at the country.
We don't get time.
We don't get time.
And we the plea to we already done the put on we development plan where we can submit to the Ministry of Finance. Here from 2015 we have been asking them that we need to do this seaweed baba. But then we understand the constraint after the Ebola funds and tight. But we still don't include that under the development budget for 2017 we'll go do presentation. At least now we get funding for getting seaweed baba. Because even this mechanism what we don't say so. You say when you go for collector can't go now decide for process. And that is what we if you don't collect the seaweed, you don't clean the seaweed, the beach go there filthy, and it's not good for tourism.
Well, Madam Famata Osage, Deputy General Manager at the National Tourist Board, now in the make this appeal, the seaweed baba, I like the name, just like clip away the cut here. This now in the barb, the seaweed, make them fine, make the beach, they change. Again, we all need this beach because when you get stressed, you disappoint yourself now beach, I didn't forget. When you see the water, they come and they go, you ask the code. So they are love the National Tourist Board support. Just advertise for roundup. Paul, waiting are some of the advice when I go talk to the fishermen them during the high tide, the high point where the seaweed don't buckle, they interfere with their nets, they mess them up. Which kind of advice you could give them? And waiting more will people in need for help this help when do this business of actually cleaning up that beach and make sure say the seaweed not continue to interfere with their livelihood.
Okay, first waiting they look at, we really ask the population, the public. What we try to see a national service as something where will help this country, because we, as Madam say, we get constrained for gather even the seaweed from the beach.
Right.
If we not gather the beach from the seaweed from the beach, the fisherman they not go for fish. The tourist people and we say not go for play ball at the beach day. So if we come together, we not go just say okay, let we just say okay, no, na seaweed and NTB, na the responsibility. But we get countries that we people that can do national service where voluntarily they can come out. In fact, that make we don't try for encourage people now. We go for fix some days we will encourage people and come out more to national cleaning. Seaweed come, seaweed not come. We they do national cleaning in public areas them. So that one of the things I want for the fishermen them. We always be don't see early warning system a very good. Sometimes we can say during the windy period for gonna see it's not really advisable. And with the seaweed you're gonna see you go fishing, then you not get a fish na seaweed you will get. So we always advising you can get alternative areas for fishing.
Like them, what about them? They will reverse them. They're not going to try freshwater fish.
Of course.
Because catfish is sweet too, and have freshwater.
Sweet.
As a beer pepper soup.
Because we just focus on the marine fish.
Yeah, the one in them bunga there or that.
If we can concentrate on other areas, and we say fish not the.
We get more reverse them.
Let we go under. Let we not just okay.
Great scarces, little scarces, river Sewa, river Moa, river Rukel, river John. But South alone are very blessed country. Yes, and then get fish day.
So now the
yeah, madam, somebody say, well, I don't want to do public. This is say if somebody want to walk, now tell like let what you do, maybe as marshal or whatever. Say let you tell them the different process and where you can go. Well, as a final word, I should answer that question. Waiting the last word where you could let people know how they go help this country. Let we get our beaches back from the seaweed. What's your final word? We don't listen to Paul. Instead, they give you one final take so that we'll bring this program to
the person will say it won't be a beach marshal process. The process you apply, write your application to the general manager and send an tourist board. But then they got one for tell the person say we need more people that can support we. It's a long beach and not just the Lumley beach. We also get with Peninsula beaches there. We first and foremost we talk Look River number 2, people go there every day. We get the community people there. Tourism is a way for create employment. But then we don't want for come with people there, we want for say we employ people. We not say that youth that we want employment. But we get limited resources because when they can we employ we not pay una. So we also the plea to governments that una help we with more funding for the way they address this issue about cleaning. We want support from government.
So right. So finally, is there one or two things you will let people know how they can be part of everything that is going on for help?
This is a national concern.
May they can volunteer.
It is a national concern. We're all beach users.
And may they not
I work for the
beach
tourism board. I work for the tourism board. And then I don't normally go to the beach during the weekends. I sit at home. But we get Sierra Leone when they work, when they go use the beach, then they make use of the beach, then they exercise, then they play football. Come and give back to your country. Come and give back to society. You're making use of the beach. Every day, tourist board, when I don't clean the beach, seaweed or the beach, it's a natural problem. It's happening all over the world.
Right.
And there's a time where governments really they're in need of resources. So sometimes not to all to they say, what in governments they can't give you. What you yourself able to do for your
country?
the question
and they say,
so
what can you do
for your
don't
country?
Ask not what your country can do for you.
You can say, hey, Mr. King, go use I see say people that they clean. Oh, yeah, I donate this thing, this cleaning tools. This we borrow 1 dozen, this and that. So what's the even ordinary citizen can do that.
Well, thank you very much.
Is our beach. This is our country. It is the Eden paradise.
And let's take it back from the seaweed.
Let's take it back from the seaweed.
Paul, final word. 1 minute. Yeah, what's in your last word to with people the way they watch you and listen to you right now on SLBC radio and television?
For addressing seaweed problem, we need a concerted effort. Now, we want researchers for seaweed as a research opportunity.
Right.
Right
then
now.
Marine biology, oceanography, all them departments and they.
Because we
don't get enough for the college. We get in a Jalabak.
And they're ready for support.
That's right.
They say the seaweed, then go use them for make animal feed.
Right.
One of the things we not be for reveal whether the chemical content of the seaweed is suitable for making animal feed. So we need research institutions for reveal that. And also, I want to tell Famulem, we dey plan this beach cleanup very soon, maybe the other week. With this is a joint program, National Tourist Board and EPA. But we'll come back now and inform people about the correct date when we don't put logistics and other things in place. So I call on people that we land for even clean the environment, because apart from the seaweed, plenty other things they end up in the beach, broken bottles, mega cola bottles, they all in at the beach. Let we learn for control with waste, how we for manage waste correctly. So Fambulem, that's not the word from the EPA.
But thank you very much. That's not the word from the EPA, and we also been on before that Sunday, we hear Mrs. Famata saying from the word from the National Tourist Board. When we don't find a word, as the top Mr. Salomon, they go on a beach, they use the beach, like you say, with the drink, with the eat, with the do a whole lot of things. Care some food going from the host them, we left and they let we all members say, how we, which they say garbage in, garbage out. How you the put, now so the thing they come. So do you allow members say, we make up, say this country, now we have to take it back. We don't see the natural disaster way, the landslide, with the flooding, and now they see all kind of things in the camp. We not going to left and give Papa government no more, because we don't have Papa government, then are we and then are UNO. So they are, as soon as they listen to programs where they come to UNO, SBC Radio, FM 100 and SBC Television, please be part of making this country a better place to live in. Until we meet again, same place, same time next week. My name is TJ called the Megadon, and the co-producer today, I call her Davido, from the Ministry of Political and Public Affairs. And I want to thank all the permanent secretary, the directors, them, the ministers, them, where they capacitate and facilitate this program. And to meet again, Tata, and remain strong and remain loyal and not give up on Sierra Leone, because you don't get any other country. 20 years I did in Nigeria, every day they remind me say, you are not a Nigerian. So dear, I no more you will say, me na ya de, and I ya born, na ya get right. So to meet again, Tata, and be good.
I'm with you till we dance again. Wherever I go, you are everywhere. I see what you see.